Good afternoon and welcome back to the Manly 16-foot Skiff Club for Heat 6 of the 2025-26 Club Championship. It's another cracking day on Sydney Harbour, and if the early heats are any indication, we're in for more close, fast and exciting racing. I'm Jimmy Bury, and whether you're joining us from the clubhouse, out on the water or tuning in from afar, thanks for being with us. Alongside me today is Jessica Riles. Great to have you. What are you expecting from today, Jess?
I'm expecting a lot of fun today. I think the guys have been really excited for a big nor'easter all week, I would say. Fair bit of north in the breeze, and we've already seen a bit of carnage out here. So I think watching from home, we've got a bit of excitement coming. Yeah,
we've got a bit of smoke haze out and about around Sydney with the fires from up north, all that smoke's blowing down here. So the picture's looking a little bit grey. That is what it is. It's just a smoke haze. But, the 16s definitely will be relishing today with especially the ones that went to the state titles last week at St George. The Saturday, that if you didn't sleep well after sailing in that, you're too fit for my liking, that's for sure. So, but what do you think from today, Jess? Do you think? I think they're trying to set us up on a nor'east course at this stage, but as you alluded to, a lot more north in it.
Yeah, I think a message went out this morning from our race officer, Stephen Isles, saying he would try and get a nor'east 2 course in, which means our 16s would head down to Balmoral 3 times and our 13s would head down twice. But watching the boats come out, I'm just not convinced they would make it around the corner. So we could be in for a compass-bearing course instead. Time will tell.
Yeah, it's as you said, like when we were coming out, there was a lot of boats not even looking like they're going to make Balmoral when they jibed onto starboard. So we'll wait and see what the race committee does. Like they're pretty switched on that boat on the Matana. So fingers crossed we get decent racing in and some very tight racing. There's a good mix of rigs out here, I've noticed, Jess, between the big rigs and little rigs. There's not many. There's really, I think the only 13 I've seen out so far is Harkin. They don't have a rig choice. They just strap it in and go. So, good for them.
I think it would have been an interesting rig choice today with a building breeze, but just before they went out, it dropped off a fair bit. But I know a few crews are probably hurting from last week with a bit of broken gear and a few broken bones, which may have swayed them more to a small rig choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think too, after last week, been a bit gun shy after. We followed some of the boats out from St George Sailing Club out to their start area, and they did like nearly a 60-degree turn when they got hit by the bullet.
Right.
It was plenty on, but it's. So I think with today's race, we might have a bit of a look at the results so far. Like, as I said, we're up to Heat 6 in the Club Championship. So there's the leaderboard, and you've got Buckingham Marine leading in the 16-foot skiffs, followed by Red Pumps Red, Canberra Airport, Geochemical Assessments, and Modern Concept Constructions, Imagine Signage, Red Pumps, and in the 13s, Harkin is leading that from IME, Buck and Simple, Buckingham Marine, Imagine Signage, Botany Access, Bigfoot Bags and Covers. But speaking with Orlando on that, they're pushing hard to go for the picket fence. So
yeah, I think Orlando and Heidi and Harkin on the 13 have sailed just so well. We saw them last year really, really out the front, and this year they haven't dropped back at all. A lot of experience, and I think it really tells something when you can sail with the same person year after year. You get to learn each other, you get to trust each other, and especially on a day like today where it's a bit of risk involved, you really want to know who you're sailing with.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? It's it's one thing I noticed back almost 10 years ago now, Jess, when I stopped sailing. Me and Rob in the fire stopping back then, we knew each other's move before we sort of did it. So it was it does make a huge difference. And And there's the boys on Sutec adjusting something on the front of their boat. I'm not quite sure.
Could have been a Miss Spinnaker sheet feed or something like that. But it looks like they've sorted it out. Well done.
It's a nice day for a swim anyway, 25 degrees in the water. But yeah, it's the breeze is expected to build a little bit today, but whether it does because of this cloud cover and bits and pieces, we don't know. So.
Yeah, it is confirmed now on the start boat they will try and push for a nor'east 2 course. So we're starting down here off Middle Head. The top mark, which will be a red mark, will be a port rounding up in Manly. And then our bottom mark will be Balmoral, and that will be using one of our yellow YA marks, which is a starboard rounding, which always causes a bit of interest depending on which side you want to drop your kite on. And the chute versus the normal traditional pack with a starboard rounding at the bottom and port rounding at the top. Hopefully the top mark is in a nice safe space for our boats.
Yeah, well, there's the Queens of Buckingham, the all-girls crew. Have you had a call up yet for the Queens?
Yeah, they have spoken to me. I did get a call up for one race, which unfortunately I couldn't take part in, but it seems like they're having a lot of fun, and it's so great to see an all-girl crew. And
last week, Jess, they got out on that Saturday. They missed the start, but they got there, and they were determined to get out and have a go. And I spoke to Fiona during the week, and I thought it was a very brave, gallant effort by the girls because there was a lot of longer term teams decide to stay on the beach. So at least the girls there jumped in and gave it a go. And shout out to Mitch Buchanan from Buckingham Marine. I know he'll be watching. He sponsors half the fleet. I think he's in a race with Greg Windus from Red Pumps. So.
Yeah, I think for those new crews, just getting out on the water, not worrying about your result. If you go out, capsize 20 times, you're still learning something, and try and have a good conversation when you get back to the beach and see what you can improve on for next time. Yeah.
There's Imagine signage with... Who's in the bow of that? I did get told.
Yeah, so Malcolm Page is not on Imagine today. They've got Benedict Spencer replacing him.
So I think Mal is still trying to peel himself out of a jib from Saturday down at St George, where he got sent very nicely.
Oh dear.
So, but and then there's the fluid in the background with Don Rollison.
Yeah, we've got a few other interesting people in our fleet today. Matt Stenter on Buckingham Marine has just finished the Cabbage Tree race on Scallywag this morning, as we've been told. So great of him to jump straight off that into 16s. Very committed. Our Australian sailing team has an all-new crew today. So they've got Daniel Lynx and Keizo, who sail on 49ers together, so we'll see how they go, jumping in a 16. And in the middle of them is Ellis, who has sailed 470s.
Yeah, there's quite a few little changes, isn't there? So there's, I know Buck and Simple, Tim Lees is out for at least 6 weeks with a broken ankle from last week.
Yeah.
I spoke to him again during the week. He was down with the kids, but he was in really good spirits considering walking around in a boot, and I was just like, how did it happen? And his foot got caught in the fruity, and that was it.
Yeah.
Not a nice feeling.
Oh, Red Pumps Red. Yeah, I think Red Pumps Red on screen there, currently second in the club championships. They had an absolute great day, the last club champs, with 2 wins. So we'll see how they go today. I think they're great in all winds, definitely, but I think Zoe's specialty is the lighter breezes, so they might have a bit more on today.
Yeah, look, she's got a very accomplished crew in Jamie and Hugh.
Yes.
So, this sort of breeze, this really plays into Hugh's sort of forte with his thinking, and I'm expecting big things from Red Pumps Red, and there's the main Red Pumps with some driving goggles on Tyler.
Yeah, the brother-sister rivalry between Red Pumps and Red Pumps Red. Yeah, so 3 minutes till our start. I think boats are a little bit scattered from our start line at the moment with a bit more pressure in their sails. They kind of like to take it a bit more easy. Yeah, as we saw, there's only 1 point separating our first and second currently in our 16-foot skiffs between Buckingham and Red Pumps Red. I think there might be a bit of excitement today on board Buckingham. What do you think, Jimmy?
Absolutely. The like Maddie Stenner been a bit tired.
Yep.
I think it was a relatively easy Cabbage Tree Island race for them.
Yep.
They finished early this morning. Hopefully the watch system worked well and Maddie got a bit of sleep. But
yep.
I think they've got a lot. They've got a point to prove after their rudder disintegrated last week on them.
Right. Okay.
And they ended up just sitting in the middle of the course and had the best spectator position for the.
Oh dear.
Other than us, but everyone was keeping an eye on them. Sort of got a bit thin on the ground for resources for rescue boats at one point, but
yep.
It was good. They kept the 13s ashore,
yep.
Which was definitely the right thing to do. We don't want to scare the kids, but yeah, it's. I think Buckingham's. I think we're going to see big things from geochemical assessments.
Yep.
I think they're starting to hit their straps at the right time.
Yep.
Modern concept constructions is another one that I think, finally I think they got their full crew back.
Okay. Yeah, good.
So, we'll wait and see. They're the current club champions, so wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we've also got Canberra Airport right up there in the points at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on them today as well.
Which is great to see.
Yes.
This is their first season
yep.
in it, so fingers crossed. But they're all starting to rack up nice and close here, and you can see the mix there on screen of the big and little rigs.
Yeah, I think today the little rigs might have a slight advantage upwind, especially if the breeze picks up a bit more, but yeah, no doubt, if you can handle it, the big rigs will smoke in downwind. Yeah.
Well, where the race start is just here between sort of Grotto and Middle Head. This is normally in that northeast where it pulses and it's quite strong.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably the strongest part of the whole course. So.
Yeah, so we've got MCC right down the pin end of the line. With Bartley and a couple others, but up the starboard end of the line, it looks like we've got Sutek, Imagine Signage just started. Imagine Signage have had a really good start, Sutek right on top. And it looks like an individual recall. So individual recall means if you're
changed.
over... Oh, it's changed? Changed to a general, there we go, general recall. Not to be confusing at all.
But explain the individual recall, Jess, while we're at it.
An individual recall is if you need to figure out yourself if you're over, and if you think you're over, you've got 4 minutes to return back past the line and restart. If you fail to do so in the 4 minutes, you'll get an OCS, which means on-course start, and you will be disqualified. A general recall means they couldn't figure out exactly who was over, so they call everyone back and we all restart. Which is always a bit of a shame for our poor 13s who now need to wait around for another 7-ish minutes before they get a go.
Yeah, well, interesting. Middle Harbour 16-foot Skiff Club, which is set up not even 100 metres from our start line. Their start sequence was exactly the same time, so it's plenty on.
Yeah, I think they may have coordinated that potentially to not get confused by all the hoots.
Just what you're saying, just use the one boat sound signals.
Yep.
Or, yeah, perfect. I like your thinking.
Make it easy. Yeah, I think the boats will often take a general recall as a bit of time to kind of test where they were on the line, see how it feels for a little bit before coming back. Yeah, so there's Canberra Airport on screen there, which we were talking about before, currently in third place on our points.
And do you think, knowing the starter as well as you do know the starter, Jess, do you think we'll get a black flag here, or do you think you'll play a little bit nice?
think knowing the starter, who is my dad, doesn't like boats to get away with too much. He'll try put a black flag up and just get the race underway as soon as possible.
Yeah, and they've just got the last little bit of the tide coming out too, so that's probably what helped push the boats probably over the line. There's a lot of water up the back of Middle Harbour here, and very deep parts of Middle Harbour, so all that water's got to get out at some point. So
yeah, and you also just gain speed very quickly in these boats in this breeze. So as soon as one person kind of goes, everyone's got to go to keep up, and it's easy to for everyone to get pushed over.
Yeah, well, you've got to, don't you? If you sit back, you're buried, you're gone, your day's over.
Yeah.
Especially in short race format, but today we're on a long course, as you said. We're on the Northeast number 2, so this is one of the favourite courses of the Manly Skiff Club.
Yep, and we've just started our 5-minute sequence again. Yeah, so at the 4-minute mark, that's when we'll know if we've got the blue Peter again, which means you are allowed to return if you're over, or the black flag, which means if you're over at any time in the last minute,
I think I can see a black flag
I think I can
sort
see
of
it too.
hiding. Yep.
Yeah, so boats will need to make sure that they do lock eyes on the start boat and kind of see what's happening, because when 1 minute goes, that flag disappears, and if you haven't seen it, you don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the big danger, isn't it? Because you're like any part of your boat or equipment that's over inside that last minute, your day's done.
You're gone.
And there it is, the black flag, as we said. So you don't want to be carrying or having that in your bag for a club championship.
No, definitely not. There's our MCC 13-foot skiff on screen. So you can see them dropping. All of our 13-foot skiffs have a chute, which some of our 16s do. Some of them have the traditional pack. I think with 2 people on a 13, the chute just makes life a whole lot easier for them, except for when it goes wrong, and then it's not easier.
Well, I was lucky enough that when I sailed, we went flying 11s to 14s in 16s, so we missed that 13 period of learning, and I wish they were around in my day, because they definitely look like an exciting boat.
Yeah, and especially now, I think I saw 29 entries in the States.
It's getting insane. Like, it's so good for what was a development class. It's now just growing legs like you wouldn't believe. And Middle Harbour's got them, Belmont's now got them. Manly, we've got a huge fleet here, and they're out training all week. They've still got them up in Queensland as well. So, like the Nationals looks like it's going to be exciting for the 13s, that's for sure. I think
it's really the right age to grab people and get them into the skiffs, because in the juniors they get a lot of training, they're used to it, they've just come out of school, they're understanding the commitment. And to go straight into the 13s, we kind of see that same excitement and need to improve. So it's really cool. I think by the time we get to the 16s, some of us get a bit lazy.
And there's our recently crowned state champions, Imey, Barnabas Bill, Joel Beashel, Trent Barnabas and Rob Napper.
Yeah, they had a really good series. I don't think it quite ended the way they would have liked, with the last race not going ahead on Sunday. But they had a really great run, kept it clean in the 4 races that they did have. So congratulations to them. Yeah,
no, knowing Rob and the way Rob thinks, he'll take the win, but not his most favourite win of all, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think there was only, am I right, 1 point separating them and Imagine in the States? Yeah, so the last race could have played into it with a drop coming in as well on the 5th race. But still, I don't think we can take away their achievement, and I guess it'll keep them hungry for nationals.
Absolutely, and I think Imagine Signage, they might have won the capsize of the series.
Yeah, all right.
They had a pearler of a capsize. So.
Did you get any good photos of it?
I didn't, but Michael Chittenden did.
Yep. He's always on to that.
You don't want me on a camera.
No.
So here we go, the black flag down. 1 minute to go.
Yeah, so we can see already they're hanging a bit further back from the line this time. MCC still seeming to go for that pin end start. Imagine are a bit further down the line than they were last time, and Red Pump Red also looking for centre of the line. I think in a black flag start there is that midline sag, so it can be an advantage to start in the middle of the line, and if you've got your little tracker on you and it's telling you how far away you are from the line, you can get quite an advantage. But yeah, they'll still obviously have to be careful.
Yeah, we always found, like, when you ping the line, like, you know, you go up, you ping the boat, ping the pin with your instruments, and you get the midline sag was unbelievable in some events, and you could make a real good fist of it if you just relied on the machine.
And looks like a clear start. As far as I can see, Bartley seems to have had a really good start down the pin end. Sutek fighting hard up the boat end, looking really nice off the line, with Imi looking good in the middle. I think our little rigs here off the line are going to have to work extra hard with big rigs surrounding them. They'll want to try and aim for a bit more clear air. Yeah, Red Pumps Red don't seem to have the start they would have loved, but they seem to still be in clear air. But as we've seen from them many times, they can fight back through a fleet like you wouldn't believe.
They wiggle through like...
Yeah.
You wait till we get up to the top mark, Jess.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, where did they come from? You got a few boats tacking off. Buchan, Simple, Shebang, Buckingham, or the Queens of Buckingham, Alters Consulting, all early tackers heading out towards North Head. The remainder of the fleet still charging away down here into, I guess, the Bombora area.
Yeah, I think with a bit more north in the breeze, they might need to be more careful. There looks to be a bit of a wind shadow under Bombora, so you wouldn't want to get stuck too far out. But our most left boat has just tacked.
Who's that Aristocrat down there?
Yep.
Yeah, Daryl sent me a message earlier on, the skipper of Aristocrat, asking big or little rig, and I just said 18 knots and just left it at that.
Yep.
I'm not getting into rig selections for other people.
Sometimes I'll just flip a coin and 50-50.
We should have sailed together, Jess.
Yeah.
I like the way of your thinking.
Yeah, so as we thought, boats aren't heading too far under Bombora.
Oh, close between Botany Access and Red Pumps Red.
Yeah, I heard a bit of yelling on that one.
Yep, just top of screen there.
Yeah, I think Red Pumps Red, from what I saw, had just tacked and maybe didn't quite pick a great line to get through. Yeah, so on screen we've got Red Pumps and MCC. They both seem to really get a nice high line off that start. They tacked over and crossed a few boats off the fleet, so they're looking good at the moment.
And Buckingham's buried in there with them as well. They've just appeared.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd sort of expect big things from all three of those boats today.
Yes, I'd say so.
You know, they're, like, especially MCC, I think they've got a point to prove. They last year's club champions and haven't really come to the forefront this year. And
yep. Yeah, another one of those boats that have sailed together for a few seasons now and yeah, have really good crew work, and I think their confidence in the stronger winds is a bit higher. So yeah, they're sailing really well. I think they'll be fighting pretty hard in the middle there to try and, if they can, squeeze out Red Pumps and staying above Buckingham. And on screen there, we've got Canberra Airport, IME, Imagine Signage and Sutek. I think Sutek potentially are feeling their little rig at the moment, surrounded by those guys, but they're holding their own pretty well, so good on them.
contemplating whether that hamburger was a good idea from last night with the little rig. And what rig did you prefer, Jess, with the 16s? Like,
oh, in the early days, the little rig was my little safe space. But later on, when we got more confidence, I think the big rig was my favourite. I think our changeover, we were happy up to about 18 knots.
Yep.
And anything over that, yeah, we just suffered upwind in the big rig. We didn't quite have enough weight for it.
Yeah, well, that was sort of our changeover. Like, we could lump it to 20, 22 if we had to, but and like, you know, we used to have quite a battle with the Sutek back in the day, Daniel Turner, and we knew if we dragged them into the top end big rig, that the cards started falling our way a bit.
Yeah. I think part of it is kind of looking at the boats around you and the points and kind of play the waiting game and make them go first.
And Sutek there bailing out. The big thing Sutek's got to do there, being on little rig, is just find clear air. That's going to be their saviour to get up to this top mark. And the top mark's not as far up into Manly as our normal nor'east course. As we're on nor'east number 2, they bring the top mark down, sort of in line with Bunno's place, which is a good Airbnb if anyone's listening and wants a place to stay in Manly.
Yeah, but the mark is still far enough up in Manly, I think, that nice flat water, a bit lighter air. I think the big rigs will have an advantage up here. I quite enjoyed it up in Manly on a really, really pumping nor'easter, and you're like, oh, we can just stretch the legs a little, relax a tiny bit before we head back out.
And there's the Australian sailing team there on your screens with young Daniel Lynx steering that.
Yeah, no, I think it might be their first time sailing the 16.
It's definitely for Daniel. Yep. I know that much. Without showing my age, I used to race against his father. So
right. Yeah, and it looks like they could have the lead here potentially. A little bit hard to tell before these other boats down to leeward of them tack back, but that boat is looking really nice at the moment. They look like they've got good control, good body positioning. You can tell that they've got experience in a skiff style boat for sure. Yeah. No, he's a good young bloke too. Like, a good style of a bloke. Like, I know he's on the Olympic pathway, but he's very grounded in what he does. Like, he's not, you know, that's where I'm going to be. He knows there's no guarantees, so he's a good young bloke. Yeah, that's great, and I think the 16 seem to attract those sorts of people. Really good balance of fierce competition on the water, but also really great friendships off the water as well. Now it looks like as these boats are heading into this cliff face here, the breeze is bending around to the right a little, so I think I'm seeing a slight advantage of the boats who have headed further left earlier on. Yeah, so I think Australian sailing team on screen now seem to be bending behind the others slightly, but still a bit hard to tell from where we are. Yeah, so we've got Imagine signage on the furthest right of your screen with IME, Buckingham Marine and Canberra Airport. I think they'll try and push as far as they can into these rocks. They're just getting more height and height the further in they go. But there is a reef just in front of them.
And it is low tide.
Yes. Yeah, so IME called it a bit earlier with Imagine just tacking off screen now, and we'll see what happens when they cross over with the others.
Canberra Airport, nice easy cross on both of them.
Yeah, so Australian sailing team just off screen there did have to cross behind the others tacking back, so I think those rocks really paid, and I think that might be a slight Manly local advantage knowing that. Yeah, those who have sailed a nor'easter here before will know that those rocks most of the time do pay.
the hot rocks of Dobroyd.
Yep. Yeah, so I think these boats might head up to their ley line now, so to kind of put you in a bit of a location, we're heading up to our top mark. And the fleet looks tight. Very tight. Yeah, so from what it looks like now, Imagine signage seem to be well positioned. They're kind of lightly covering on all the others. And Canberra Airport, which we'll just get on screen here, also seem to be in a good position. A bit hard to tell on camera, but they are looking quite nice. Now, it can be a bit light and shifty up here, so picking a ley line can be a bit tricky. I know I always preferred to overlay just a tiny bit, because trying to tack back if you don't make it is very annoying.
Yeah, and especially in a tight fleet, because there's never a gap to tack back into.
Yep.
I never envied the skippers. I just did what I was told.
Yep. Yeah, so Imagine seem to have really good boat speed there and just have overtaken Canberra Airport. And Canberra Airport will need to be squeezing the height a bit to try and get some clear air and make it round the mark cleanly. You can see they're bending in a fair bit, really light pressure. They're trying to keep a bit of leeward heel on the boat so they can stay above the mark. And yeah, really well picked by Imagine, our current leaders. I anticipate that they'll probably want to do a normal set here, get a bit of boat speed and head as close into those rocks again as possible. Here we've got MCC, closely followed by Buckingham Marine.
I don't know that you want to be jibing off onto port for too long here, because as we said at the top of the show, Jess, you're going to struggle to make Balmoral, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so Australian sailing team, followed by IME, Red Pumps, and Red Pumps Red. Okay, so Red Pumps Red have decided to jibe set here. So we'll see how that goes for them. Then a little bit of a gap after geochemical assessments for our next boat. So
Bit
IME and
argy
Red
bargy
Pumps, yeah.
going on there between IME and Red Pumps.
And it does seem like there is a bit more east back in the breeze now. So hopefully their run down to Balmoral will be kind to them.
And I think the first of our little rigs just got around the mark in Sutek.
Yeah, followed by Bartley. And we've got Red Pumps Red on screen there. They were the only boat to jibe set out of that front little pack. They seem to have a really nice line, so we'll see how they go once they jibe back and meet the rest of the fleet.
And I think that's Zoe's best bet at the moment on Red Pumps Red, Jess, is just to get away from the main pack.
Yep. Do what they know they can do.
Yeah, sail their own race and go from there.
Yeah, and look, I think up here where the breeze is a bit lighter, if you've got a good kind of gust to jibe in, it's always worth taking it if it's going to give you some clear air. And just always looking over your shoulder, checking if there's any more breeze to jibe back on, so you can when you want to.
Just noticed on the fluid that we're on, Jess, Dave Burkett on the sheet, not normally a sheet hand.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, we've got Imagine signage on screen there by the looks of it. Seem to have a really nice line to take them down to Balmoral. I think this is the best part for our guys of this race.
Just got a problem here on MCC that we're just going past, Jess. There they are on screen, so...
Yeah, someone in the water up on the pole. Not looking good.
Not sure what that could be, unless they got a hitch on the tack line around the end of the pole. I know that's happened before.
Yeah. Yeah, real shame for them. They were doing really well, but hey, it's still early in the race and got a long way to go. Canberra Airport on screen there, looking really nice. There is a tiny bit of seaway, but not too much.
It's relatively tame, the seaway at the moment.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Yep.
Well, whatever it is on modern concept constructions, Jess, unfortunately looks terminal. They look like they may be heading for home.
Yeah.
Disappointing for them.
Yeah, well, on screen there, really nice drive from Geochemical, just driving off the Bombora.
So here comes the mix of the Middle Harbour Manly fleet. And looking down towards the start line, Jess, it looks like the 13s might have had a general recall as well. They're still all tussling behind.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they've started yet, so we'll keep an eye on them and give you an update once we see them get a race underway. Canberra Airport on screen there, they're just making me a bit jealous at the moment. I think I'd quite like to be sailing today.
I got in early for once,
yeah.
so...
Yeah, you did.
When I was seeing the forecast, yes, I'm going, sort of watching my phone going, I'm going to get a...
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, I've got an idea. But no, thanks again, Jess, for jumping in and helping out. I know you're in high demand.
Yeah, well, it's great to be here.
Yeah, and it's...
Yeah, so on this course, boats tend to spend a lot of time on starboard jibe, heading down to the bottom. I think if you find a good line, you can ride it most of the way down, but the bottom side of the course does get a bit tricky, can be a bit more fluky. We also have a few boats sailing out of Balmoral to keep an eye on as well.
And a lot of power boats going in and out of Middle Harbour just to throw...
Yes.
Throw off
Canberra Airport
just
in the drink.
Wow.
They just...
Not on screen, sorry viewers, but...
Just as we were talking about, it looks like they hit a big cruiser wash and just lost control and pitch poled. Might get them on screen soon. So Buckingham Marine coming down behind Canberra Airport will use this to their advantage, but also know that they will need a bit of caution and can see them jibing off, keeping clear. With Imee hot on their tails, who looks like they'll jibe and keep clear of Canberra Airport as well.
Very disappointing for the team there on Canberra Airport. It's not a nice feeling when you're doing 20-something plus knots and you plough into a wave and you stop dead.
Not at all.
We've got a real close cross coming up here between Buckingham and Imagine.
Yeah, so Imagine seemed to have picked a nice line down on the left side of the course. I think picking a really good jibe angle here can be a bit tricky. The bottom mark is a fair bit further away and you don't want to end up heading into the moored boats.
The other week when we were out here, Jess, for a nor'east course, the breeze literally lifted off at this bottom mark and it was like full game reset at the bottom.
Wow, right.
So, it was something else to see, like, you know, people were getting into this bottom mark in first and they're coming out in 10th. And
wow, okay.
It was, that sinking feeling for some, that wonderful feeling I got it right for others.
So Imagine trimming their kite really nicely, that kind of front panel rolling ever so slightly. Looks like they're in a big one here, nicely heeled over, I think, putting a bit of pressure on to get up to the mark. Yeah, so there's Imagine just fallen into a real light patch, actually, with Buckingham Marine and Imee not too far behind.
If I put the kiss of death on them again.
Yep. Yeah, so now I think for them it's about really keeping calm, not getting frustrated, and trying to keep your sails nice and full. All crew, as you can see, are in the boat, just trying their best to get everything out of it as possible. I'm doing something a bit more interesting.
They can't go inside that moored boat, so which they haven't.
Yeah, they've just stopped dead there, haven't they? Maybe Imi with the early kite drop made a good decision. They seem to have a bit more speed at the moment. But of course, getting inside Imagine will get a bit of a wind shadow for them.
Yeah, and I don't think Buckingham Marine will let them
No.
slide in there either, Jess.
Yeah, so there's our mark, bottom of screen, that yellow mark, and it will be a starboard rounding.
Quite like what Imi Barnabas Build is doing there, of just sort of jibing to jibe to just get some momentum flowing.
Yep, and making sure they're staying clear of the other two. I think going round as a tight pack of three, it's not good for anyone really. So well done Buckingham Marine, getting in the lead. Imagine struggling a bit there.
Just had it confirmed on the group chat that 16-foot skiff Modern Concept Constructions has gone home. They have retired from today's racing. So
such a shame.
Feel sorry for that team there, and I think they'll, knowing particularly Chris very well, I think you'll find that they'll sit there this afternoon and they'll put their whole focus on this national titles. So is where they'll end up.
Yeah, wow. Looking at these boats heading upwind, a lot of east in it.
Massively, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're pointing above the top mark currently.
Yes.
And as you can see in the background of that shot, that smoke haze is just smothering Sydney. Came through about 10 o'clock last night.
Yep. Well, Red Pumps Reb have done really well here. I think others were trying to head low to stay on the mark, but they came up a bit higher, just kept their speed on, put an extra jibe in because they know they can do it and can do it well. So getting around in fourth with a little rig today.
Is that
no, sorry,
big?
Not a little rig, big rig.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Zoe and the team have been pretty famous for going big rig, little spinnaker.
Yes, I think I was on board last time they did that.
Unlike Eric's storage down at the States last week, which had little rig with a big spinnaker.
Oh dear, you don't want that. Not on a day
I'll
like
tell
that.
you what, they did exceptionally well considering it down at Botany Bay.
Good on him.
Yeah, Bosca Build, Sarah Lee,
yep.
They could not get past them. So there you go.
Oh well, maybe it's the new trend.
Yeah, our advice is free, but it's not bankable if it goes wrong. This is turning into quite a weird one down here, Jess. Unfortunately,
Yes.
Good for the likes of Canberra Airport that had a swim. They've got a chance to get back down here, get back in the mix of things. But for the other teams, it's a nail-biting moments like this that you sort of try and piece the little bits together that you can. It's not really fair sailing, but it is what it is. Everyone's in the same situation here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's really, really struggling by the looks of it.
Tell you what, Don Rollerson packs a spinnaker better than Berkey, that's for sure. Berkey might watch this back and he might have to retire the trap harness, I think. I guess all these teams that are on Little Rig right now are regretting that decision.
Yes, absolutely. But there's still plenty of breeze in the middle of the course as far as I can see. They're just going to have to keep their cool and work hard to get there.
bit hard to keep you cool on a day like today, Jess.
Yes.
Like I think it's the high 30s. I think close to 40 degrees centigrade here in Sydney.
Yep.
Today it's sweltering away, but could be a lot worse. Could be up the north coast where they've got those bushfires at the moment. And hope and pray that everyone up there is safe. And I think, how is it up the mountains, Chits? Have they got fires up there, mate? Oh, okay, so no, they don't up the Blue Mountains, but over in Perth apparently they've got some fires as well. So please stay safe and keep a listen out to your local emergency services and do as they say.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you reckon? 150 metres up, it looks like there's breeze, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's just gone to nothing here. So it looks like Imagine signage are potentially just about to get into that line of breeze. Oh, Red Pumps Red seem to have just put a good tack in, and as you can see they're double trapping again, so they'd be happy with where they are.
And we have a new leader on the course being Buckingham Marine. Not that Buckingham Marine that you're seeing there, that's the Queen's of Buckingham on screen.
Yeah, and there on screen is other Buckingham Marine who are leading the race as far as we can see.
Yeah, they tacked off early and sort of went over towards the Navy base there at Balmoral, where it still looks like there's a vein of breeze down that side. So, as very famous sailor Rob Brown used to always say, don't go where the wind ain't. So,
Keep it simple.
Keep your eyes out of the boat, and you just got to link those couple of little things up, and you're out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the patience and using it to take some time, look up the course and go, we know this isn't great, but let's see what we can do. And yeah, they did a really good job getting out of that. Interesting look on screen at the moment. So I hope these boats here can kind of pick their way out of that light breeze.
So Canberra Airport in another capsize.
Wow, and it looks like they've gone up the mast a bit, so maybe something's going on and they've taken the opportunity to fix it.
Like not going anywhere anyway.
Yep. All right, and as we can see on screen, they're back in what they love. Really good breeze up here now.
You'll just see, there you go, Imagine signage crossing behind them, and they were your leaders at that bottom mark, so that's how much of a gain keeping your eyes out of the boat and going the right way helps you. And not taking anything away from Nathan Wilmot, gold medalist. Anyone can find the breeze he can, but it was just unfortunate for them that Daniel Turner and the team there on Buckingham Marine found it before Nathan did.
Yeah, I think from what I'm seeing, it almost seems stronger, the wind, than what it was on the first time up, potentially.
Definitely stronger than what was at the bottom mark.
Yes, yep, I can guarantee that. There's Imy on screen there. You can often get a few nice little waves kind of rolling off your starboard stern here, which I always enjoyed, putting that tack in and sailing across here and getting the speed on. think Imagine will try push hard into these rocks as far as they can.
Yeah, the boat always felt quickest through this area on starboard, didn't it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you can get a fair bit of chop off middle head. So getting up there, getting to the breeze, and then tacking over and trying to get out of the bumpy water to make your port tack up.
And I think too, Jess, because the teams really haven't sailed this course very often in the last couple of years.
Yep.
It's a lot of new thinking for some of the teams of where do we go, what do we do. Definitely back in my day, nor'east meant fluid building one and everyone else battling it out for second. Clint and Ant and Steve particularly, they had that course well and truly to themselves. They knew every bit of it. Didn't matter whether the breeze was at slightly left, slightly right. They had it in the bag.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think in my 13 days we sailed the nor'east course more than any other course. Just kind of became an instinctual habit on where to go.
Now you're showing off with your school teacher stuff. Imagine signage tacking back to, that didn't quite have the height that that Imey had there, so I think they bailed back just to cover them off.
Yeah, I think where they were positioned on Imey and Buckingham, they were the most leeward boat, which is not always the best place to be when it's often a kind of left-running course. So they'll tack back, kind of get their boat where they want it to be and keep going. Red pumps red on screen there. I think a great shot kind of showing how many boats are out on the water today.
I think the 13s have all got away. Oh, yep, I can see them coming downhill now, so we'll cover them off when we go past them. But we'll start to see, there's the Harkin in the lead.
Yeah, it does look like Harkin is leading. So Imagine now are, I think, are in about a similar place to where we started. Yeah, and for those who have just tuned in and aren't familiar with the course, we are running 3 laps down to Balmoral, and we've done one time down to Balmoral so far. Yeah, so I think on screen there, that little kite is our leading 13-foot skiff Harkin. Seem to have picked a really nice line. I think they'll take their boat out into the middle before jibing and running down to Balmoral.
Won't be far off the next cross between Imagine Signage and Buckingham as well, so it'll be interesting to see if that gap has been closed up there. These two cruising catamarans just heading off to their next anchorage are going to come right into play.
Yeah, so Buckingham Marine have crossed, I think, pretty comfortably over the top of Imagine.
Yeah, it looked that way, didn't it, Jess? It looks like they possibly opened up their margin there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the Harkin 13-foot skiff has really opened up on these chasing pack. I think that's red pumps there with the red spinnaker and the little Buckingham Marines in the background.
Yeah, so they're our current second and third in the 13s. Yeah, so we've now got Imagine and Imy coming back on starboard. Yeah, so it seems like really nice flat water where they are at the moment. I'll anticipate they'll kind of follow into where Buckingham Marine have tacked off Bombora. I think at this point in the race, you kind of lock in, you know that you've still got another 2 long laps to go. So keeping the concentration up, but really just trying to find that groove. You no longer have to fight boats anymore like you do off the start. So trying to find where you're comfortable, staying in clear air, and trying to pick a really good line and sail your own race. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Imy on screen there with Buckingham on top of screen. And our Imagine signage 13-foot skiff just putting in a jibe. I just think it's so fantastic to see how much these 13s have improved even just over this season. Yeah, those jibes that we just saw were looking really comfortable and excellent, and it looks like they've got good speed downwind. I think often you see 13s when they're new to sailing a skiff just get a bit timid downwind, but all of them have got their kites up. They're all sailing really well, and yeah, really good to see.
Yeah, Jess, the amount of them that get out during the week, and the club offers the training and they take it up, and then like yesterday when we were coming back from filming the start of the Cabbage Tree Island race, there was still 13-foot skiffs out then.
Wow.
Training, so you know they love sailing and they're into it, so it's good to see, and yeah, hopefully they're the champions of the future. Like we've pretty much seen that from most of our top guys and girls in the class have come through the 13s now.
Yep, I think it's probably one of the best boats you can sail if you want to sail the 16 one day. So yeah, good on them. So on screen there we have Red Pumps Red, who look like they've caught up to Imagine a little bit. So you can just see through that tack how in sync they are. All 3 crew move through the boat together. Both of the boys on wire getting out at the same time. They've done it a million times before and they just get it so smooth every time. I think it's all those little things which, like a lot of boats can sail in a straight line and know when you're in the groove, but it's every tack, every jibe, every mark rounding. When you hit a wave, how do you handle it? It's all those little bits that make up your time in an hour-and-a-half race.
Absolutely, yeah. It is the little things. You know, I often used to joke with Rob that we should tie our ankles together like a three-legged race. Because I was hopeless at getting through the boat, Jess, so I needed every bit of help I could get.
So Imy on screen there, just tacking off Reef Beach with Imagine signage there. That's just a great shot on our drone.
You see how Nathan pretends to hike there, Jess.
Oh, I think that's how I hiked as well. So Imagine have positioned themselves a bit higher off Reef Beach so they can go a fair bit further. They're not restricted by the rocks. So it looks like they've put themselves in some really clear air. They're a little bit closer to the mark than where the other boats have gone, which will then make it easier to pick a ley line. Looks like Red Pump Red's on screen there and not quite on the lay, but we're getting close to where our top mark is.
change of course, minus is displayed at the top. I can't imagine why, Jess.
Oh, I can't imagine why at all. So yeah, for those who aren't sure, that minus, what that means is the bottom mark will be brought further up. So hopefully they'll avoid all of that horrible, horrible wind that we saw at the bottom this time.
Lack thereof.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering whether what they might do, they might minus this leg length, and then down the bottom they might plus it.
Yeah, potentially.
We've still got a bit of North Harbour here, or Manly Cove, or whatever you want to call it, for them to push the course further up this way as well. So, it's the race committee's definitely got options, which is great to see.
Yeah, I think the race committee, a lot of what they do is, we know our target time should be about 90 minutes. So they kind of time how long it takes for boats to go upwind. I think usually downwind is about twice as fast. So they're always kind of calculating, making sure they're giving a fair race for what is advertised in the sailing instructions. And yeah, always monitoring and doing the best they can with the conditions. Yeah, so Buckingham have decided to go for a jibe tack this time, which is, I think, a good decision. On the first upwind, you've got just far too many boats that you're jibing into, but now with a bit more clear air, the jibe set is looking quite good.
Well, I think too, Jess, the breeze has sort of just dialed a little bit back to a traditional style nor'easter rather than the gradient northerly that we were seeing. So, yeah, I think the jibe set is in order here.
I think as well with the starboard rounding, if you've packed your kite on the starboard side, a jibe set can be a bit nicer to set as well.
Yeah, it definitely would be, wouldn't it? It's just a natural thing. But in saying that, in the 18-footers, Jess, they like doing windward sets.
Yeah, right.
Because it doesn't get caught on. They've got bigger of a clue board on their jib, and the spinnaker gets caught on it. So most of them have opted for the windward set.
Yeah. All right, so Army and Buckingham have both jibed back. I think Imagine behind didn't seem to get the nice breeze around the mark that the other two did. So I think these two have extended their lead a little bit. Red pumps red, just rounding the mark now. Going for a normal set by the looks of it.
Well, I don't know how much it matters with a spinnaker shoot, does it?
No.
It just sort of goes in and out one side all day.
Yep. Yeah, so looking like they're in some really nice breeze here.
Just get red pumps and geochemical assessments around this mark, and then we'll take off after the rest of them. And the big mover out of all of them, Jess, has been Typhoon. They were one of the last down to that bottom mark, and they're going to be the next boat after these two to round this top mark. So
yeah, well, good on them.
Talk about get in and out of jail as quick as you can.
Yep.
The Typhoon way. And that horn you can hear is the sound signal off the start boat that is it just to get the attention of the sailors, to get them to see the sign on the boat.
Yeah, now Typhoon today have normal Alex Hart, Lockie Pryor, but it looks like on the bow George Morton, who's an 18-foot skiff sailor from Queensland.
Yep.
And he's moved to Sydney and looking for someone to sail with. So I think maybe today is a good telling for him. If you want George Morton to sail with you, you could give him a call.
Yep. No, he's trying everything. He's trying to get into the 18s down at Double Bay.
Yep.
He's happy to sail a 16. Good style of a bloke as well, so don't be afraid to reach out if you need someone. We might even could get a whole boat together, Jess, you steering.
Yeah.
Well, when you get back from your holidays. It's not really fair you get holidays.
No.
But I guess that's the joys of putting up with all of our brats of kids at school, being the school teacher that you are, that you deserve a break.
Yes, I think so too.
I'd like to see the guys on geochemical. I know they don't live close to the club, but if they can get some training in before the Nationals, I think you'll see them dial it up a bit. They, last year that team was sailing 16 on Saturday, 18 on Sunday, and they were a bit spread. And they've decided to give the 18 away and concentrate here on the 16s. And I'm, all for it for Nathan and that team. I think, big things are not far from gelling together there for them, and things start to happen.
Yeah, I think that time on the water to get all those crew movements exactly how you want them is key. Yeah, so imagine signage on screen there. They're just heading in under Bombora. Yeah, so Red Pops Red on screen have jibed out a bit earlier than Imagine have. So they've really created a split on themselves, so we'll see how that goes when they come back together further down.
Well, looking at the angles of the boats that we're trying to chase down, being Iamy, Barnevsfield and Buckingham Marine, I think I like the move there by Red Pumps to sort of get out the angle. The pressure's a bit better out in the middle than where Imagine signage is going right at this present moment.
Yeah, and Buckingham have put another jibe in as well, so they're going even further left. Now, boats will need to remember that there is a change of course down here, so they'll need to kind of, I think, play it a bit safe unless they get eyes on the mark. And it does look like Buckingham do have eyes on the mark because they're heading straight for it.
Yeah, well, I think it was good that, as another locator, you got the Mark Lane boat, the Huey Cook, standing by.
Yes.
So, always makes life a bit easier when you've got something that you're familiar with to look for.
Yeah, so that is our mark on screen there, the pink buoy with fluoro green around it. And yeah, Buckingham have really extended their lead in this race. I think they'd be happy to stay in this breeze. Yeah, so that's our second time down out of 3. So another windward, leeward, windward, and we're done.
Yes.
Yes, I'm counting.
You got to be somewhere.
Nah. Nowhere better to be, is there, Jimmy?
No better place to be than the harbour.
Yeah, so Iamy rounding the mark now. I wouldn't be surprised if a few boats missed this mark. Yeah, I think they've positioned this bottom mark really nicely. It's exactly where they were tacking before to kind of head over to the beach on the other side. So I think boats will be happy to kind of round the mark, lock in, they know where they are, and they can head back up in plenty of breeze. Yeah,
well, like we passed all the 13s on the way up, and they were only just coming out of Balmoral. So the breeze hasn't filled in there at all. So great decision by this race committee.
Yeah. Yeah, and the 13s only have 2 laps instead of 3. So I think...
Did you ever wish when you were sailing 13s that you wanted to do 3 times sometimes when it was honking nor'easter?
I think a big nor'easter and a big southerly were my favourites.
Oh, bidon.com here on the Red Pumps Red, but saved.
Oh, but I don't
Is it?
Oh, I might miss that mark. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, not ideal for them, but there is a bit of a gap between them and the next boat, so if they can kind of keep their cool, get around. But yeah, I think they've definitely hit that mark as well.
I think they're hooked on that mark, Jess. I don't think they're...
Oh, well, they might make the course even shorter.
So we didn't like one bit where the team on Hugh Cook laid the bottom mark.
Yeah.
And as you suspected, Jess, looking at the main Red Pumps just there on screen now.
Yeah, I don't think they're making this mark, are they?
I think that they're off to Balmoral for all money.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to kind of get lost in what you know, and you're sailing down to Balmoral like you've done 100 times, and yeah, forgetting that there is a new mark.
We had one time, Jess, I think it was a state title heat, and they put us on a windward leeward because they thought the breeze was going to swing.
Right.
But the bottom mark was laid down virtually at the Balmoral mark, and the top mark was where it normally was. And we're coming into the bottom mark the correct way, which was a port rounding.
Yep.
And we had typhoon appear out of nowhere for a starboard rounding, thinking that they were doing a nor'east course. And yeah, it wasn't a very nice exchange of words with Craig, but we sorted that out over a couple of cold refreshments. I think Greg Windus has just rubbed his hands together with this, where they put this bottom mark. It's now all in breeze. That's what they like. He can put those shoulders back and go for it.
Yeah, I think these two boats handled that two-sail jibe and a lot on.com pretty well, I think, getting around that mark. And yeah, I think if you're not confident with who you're sailing with and you're not confident in yourself under pressure, dropping the kite, jibe around the mark, bit of wind, new mark placement can get a bit much, but they've done really well.
Yeah, there's not much else to do in sailing, is there, Jess? And that is it's everything all packed into one.
Yeah, there's Typhoon on screen there. He'll be the next boat round the mark. I think they've done really well. Yeah, really well on that downwind. Had their eyes out of the boat, and it looks like they've picked a good lay from what I can see. And then, yeah, big gap between the next boat, which I think is Bartley.
Yeah, and Bartley's another one that had a big win out of that bottom mark debacle, so which is great for Dan and the team.
Yeah, and Bartley's got Tom Quigley, another 18 sailor on bow. I think Jessie Lilly is overseas until after Christmas. So
well, you'd know, you got the inside running on this boat.
Yeah, I do have the inside. Yeah, so Tom Quigley is really great experienced sailor jumping on bow for them, which has I think been an easy transition for them. Yeah, maybe we can try get a bit of 13 action on this upwind.
Yep, we'll be able to definitely do that, Jess. There's plenty of them around, so... There's a little kitchen maker in the background. I know the sponsor of the kitchen maker, Darren McCavanagh, is sailing a 16 today, which Avalon is it? Aircraft management, I think Darren's on, so not afraid of jumping in and having a sail is Darren McCavanagh. So.
Yep. Yeah, so on Kitchen Maker 13 we've got Taylor Lees. Her dad is Tim Lees, another 16-foot skiff sailor. And Ollie Barrett is who Taylor is sailing with. I think I think this is Taylor's second or third season in the 13.
I think second.
Yep. And yeah, they've just improved a whole lot. I know Tim, her dad, jumped on with her in a bit at the beginning and kind of got her confidence and skills up, but they've done really well.
Yeah, well, the other ones that are jumping in and helping a lot are, who is it? We've got James and who else is there? There's 2x13. I can see, I've lost my train of thought. The Hopkins, Gemma and James Hopkins,
yes,
they've been jumping in different boats in the 13s and going out and sailing with them and helping them. So
yeah,
it's been really good to see that. They're not just relying on outside sources to help; they're internally helping them, the fleet.
And I think that's one of the beautiful things of this class is once you kind of sailed them and you understand how it works, you're committed and you're keen to help out and see new people come through. Yeah,
and I think that's sort of sounding like I'm on the movie The Castle. The vibe in in the 13s is actually quite good. It's the camaraderie there is really good. They all pitch in and help each other.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it's rigging boats, borrowing equipment or what it is. They all help each other, so it's good to see.
Yeah, I think we've got a good shot just coming in there. We've got Buckingham, our leading 16, and Harkin, our leading 13, right together. I think that's pretty rare that we get our leading 16s and 13s sailing next to each other. I think if I was on Harkin 13 now, I'd be kind of excited. Especially when you've got Ruffy right behind you, one of the most experienced sailors in the fleet, going the same way as you. Pretty cool. And there's Harkin, our leading 13, on screen now. It looks like they've put a mega gap between them and the next boat. Now, our 13s only have one rig, so you can see their mainsail flogging a bit there. Unfortunately, they don't get the luxury of choosing a big rig or a small rig. So if they get overpowered, they just kind of have to deal with it.
Just looking up the course, Jess, it looks like they've left the top mark exactly where it was.
Yes.
And I think they probably had to because of probably lack of resources to get another mark in, but also the 13s haven't got to their top mark yet. So.
Yes, exactly. So to change that mark, they would have had to have a change of course at the bottom of the 16s and the bottom of the 13s to kind of make it work. But yeah, I think there's still enough length in this course for them. There is Buckingham Marine, our 16-foot skiff, on screen.
And there goes the Queens of Buckingham.
Yeah.
So I think they came undone because when we were going down for the second time there, Jess, I seen them sort of up there and I was just waiting to build to sort of jump on them. But, yeah, I'm sure the day will come not too far away that things will start clicking together.
Yeah, great shot there of our 16 and 13-foot skiff leaders. They are coming across to our top mark. It definitely looks like there's more breeze than the last time we were up here. Nice flat water. I think this is a really good time to just kind of pick a good line and really get your boat speed and enjoy it while you're here.
Yeah, well, similar conditions with the flattish style water to what they're going to get at the Nationals in Belmont. So.
Yes.
Nice little cross there between Buckingham's and Harkin.
And that is Amy on screen, who has gone much further out to the left, so they've just kind of tucked off Reef Beach. I think for Amy, it was important for them to probably do something different to Buckingham if they were going to get in front of them.
I think it's going to be pretty close here, Jess. It's they're in more solid pressure over here on the left at the moment. The Barnabas, the Amy Barnabas build.
And I can see off screen, it looks like our Linear 16 is heading home.
Tell you what, the Buckingham Amy have opened up on Imagine signage, Jess, so
yes,
it'll be a tight little battle between these two, and I think probably for the viewers we might even stay with these guys. We'll have a little run down with Harkin and then we'll jump onto these two teams and see how this tussle unfolds, because as you said, last time down there, and it's going to be
a quick lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, good pressure at the top mark here. So I think they, straight on.
No, they're just advising the 13s that they're shorten, running out of arms on that start boat holding signs up.
Yeah, so our 13s haven't had that shortened mark at the bottom yet, so they'll need to warn them. And they've got a nice 13 board next to it, so hopefully our 16s won't get confused. But I think our 13s probably, I think if they had their eyes out of the boat, would have seen the 16s go around a different mark that time. So hopefully they know where it is.
Stranger things have happened, Jess.
Yes. Yeah, so as Harkin have rounded the mark, they're looking over their shoulder. I think they would have liked a touch more breeze here, but they'll keep it smooth.
I might pass on that George Morton's details to Heidi and Orlando, because we've given them the fire stopping to use, and they're looking for a third person.
Oh, yep.
George just might be the right person.
Could be it. So they'll be in a 16 next year, you're saying?
Hopefully. Like, there's absolutely zero pressure on them at the moment, well, at all. Like, it's purely for, for them to have in their arsenal once the nationals and so forth are all over.
Yeah, well, that's very generous of you. I think they're great kids. They've got a lot to show for themselves. I think they'll do really, really well in a 16.
Yeah, I think an opportunity like that was too good to not give them.
Yeah.
And they're both great young kids, and it's I think there's a few others that are looking at progression plans for other 13s to step up. So it's good to see that it's all going to slowly transpire in front of our eyes. Got the double botany axis in front of us. Just trying to pick a hole through the 13 fleet here. Oh, he didn't need that.
Yeah, so Amy this
time... Buckingham,
oh,
to the left of that screen, have just jibed to capsize, so...
Alright, and Amy putting in a slightly earlier jibe, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Was that on a jibe? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was on a jibe, and looking at what's around them in the water there, I'm guessing a little wave just was enough to unsettle them.
Yeah, it's hard to see on video, but it is a bit bumpy. I think they may have hit a cruiser wash as they went through. Big shame for them, but I think they've got time if they can get it up quickly. Get back a bit of pace. Amy have now taken the lead. They've got a really nice line here. I think they're almost heading at the bottom mark already. So I think at this point, if I was on Amy, I'd be like, okay, let's just play it safe. We can just see that anything can happen.
Well, I know they don't like backing off, that's for sure.
No.
And I don't know whether, well, I know Adam Beechel, Joel's father, sailed on Comanche last night, but I don't know whether Joel sailed with him, but Joel's been doing a lot of yachting with Adam overseas, so it's good to see.
Yeah, they're just rocketing down here. They've got a few nice little waves running behind them. So they will just need to put another jibe in to get themselves over to the bottom. I think picking your timing for a jibe when it gets windy is really important. I think collectively you decide when you want to go. But I think the skipper ultimately has the best feel of the boat and can pick the exact right time to go.
And you particularly want flat water, don't want to be doing it in waves.
Yes, you want to make sure there's no big wave in front of you you're about to smash into. Boat speed at its absolute maximum, and away you go. As we've just seen by Amy, great jibe by them.
Buckingham Marine is back up and going, and I think they're probably just in third.
Yeah. Now, Amy looks like they've just gone for an early set. As we said, they'd just be playing it safe. There's a boat on the bottom mark here, so I think they're just, trying to keep it all smooth and out of trouble. Oh. Yeah, going fishing.
Treno just went back to get his hat, that's all.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot on at the moment. I think those guys in little rigs could be a bit happy.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jess, the little rigs are quite a ways back, so
yeah,
it's unfortunate for them. But yeah, the big thing is, particularly in skiff racing, is you've got a rig for what the conditions are, then
yes,
not for
exactly
what could possibly transpire.
Yep, I've been told that before too. Made a wrong decision. Breeze didn't build, and I was just told, well, that's what the wind was. You should have known.
Was this at a certain dinner table?
No, it was by an old friend, Baz, actually.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
Yeah, so...
The old 7:30 a.m. phone call on a Sunday going, what are you thinking?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Imagine coming down, also gone for an early drop, just keeping it safe. And Buckingham in third, pretty close to Imagine, so they didn't lose too much. I think they'll be kicking themselves a bit that they lost their lead, but they're still definitely right in the game.
There's definitely plenty on at this bottom mark, Jess. Like these are experienced teams having troubles getting around this mark. So
yes, I think a two-sail jibe in breeze is definitely harder than jibing with the kite up. Yeah, you've just got a lot more pressure in your sails. You're not going as fast, so the wind is pushing your sails a lot harder. So when it's just harder to get the timing right and to flick it across nicely. And Harkin have gone a bit far off the mark here, but they're getting around nicely.
I think, well, not Daylight second, but I think I can see second, and it is the Buckingham Marine Ash Napper.
Yeah.
Just up off the Bombora marks.
See them coming down with their grey kite.
Put it this way, Harkin's definitely got enough time up their sleeve. If they had a little swim, they could definitely get up and be comfortable. And here comes...
yeah, so Harkin 13 seem to be a bit overpowered at the moment, but they're managing it pretty well. Here is Red Pump's Red. I think we're up to fourth position.
Fourth, yeah.
Fourth.
Yep.
Yeah, and Red Pump's not too far behind.
I should know better than to question a school teacher.
Counting is something I can do. So you can see the chute on that drop there just makes it look easy when it works well. Yeah, really good rounding by Red Pumps there.
Might just wait here and get the Buckingham 13 around, and is it
geochemical? I think that is. Bit hard to see with just the white kite.
Bit hard head on, isn't it, to see them? But
yeah, there's Buckingham Marine 13 just putting their jibe into the mark. Yeah, well done. They've picked a good ley line as far as I can tell. They'll get the kite down with a bit of time, with geochemical probably sneak in below them. Yeah, great shot there. Yeah, really well done by Buckingham Marine.
We'll try and pick up who this little red spinnaker is, Jess. Is it number 58? Which is Red Pumps, yeah.
Yeah. So Gemma Hopkins and Harvey Windust on our next 13 coming around. So, yeah, really great experience with Gemma there. She's sailed in conditions like this many, many times. And Harvey obviously has a father in the
Greg Windust.
16s.
Oh, no. There you go, Gem. We got that on film for you.
Yeah. Yeah, with Kitchen Maker 13-foot skiff coming in next, that white kite there. So Kitchen Maker were third in the state titles. I think if they can get this two-sail jibe in nicely, they'll have themselves in a good position. See how they go. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
Let's stop talking about them, and we'll leave the poor 13s alone, because we're obviously the curse on them.
Yeah, and I will say, to give them some credit, it is much harder in a 13-foot skiff with only 2 people to handle those two-sail jibes. The third person just gives you extra weight on the side, bit of extra movement.
There they are, just on the right is Canberra Airport. I don't know where they're off to, Jess. It's...
Yes, I think they may have missed the memo on that one. Oh well, we'll race up course now, and both classes are heading for the finish, so we'll get some action at the top end of the fleet.
There's a little Buckingham Marine at 13.
Yep, so they've picked a really good line off the point there. It appears to me that they don't look overpowered as far as I can see. I think they're handling the pressure in their sails really well. With geochemical assessments on screen now too.
And there's the leader of the 13s, the Harkin, just in front of them.
Well, you will see a few 16-foot skiffs from Middle Harbour Skiff Club, so obviously they're not racing against us. All right, lovely. There is our 13-foot skiff, Buckingham Marine.
See, that's how you hike.
Yes. Yeah, I think a day like today definitely would have the sunnies on, given how much spray you get to the face. I think I saw Tyler Dransfield with massive goggles on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was jumping out of a spaceship or something with those goggles. But, yeah, big tall Theo there up the bow on the Buckingham 13 gives a lot of leverage. And, you know, Ash is starting to sprout finally. Like, if he ends up anything like Kobe, I don't think he'll be on a tiller too much longer. Kobe being Ash's older brother.
Yeah, now Theo skippered at a point in time.
Yeah, well,
and was that when they won the Nationals?
Yeah, and Kobe was the crew, so...
Yeah, so I think for Theo to have skippered really gives you a good insight to the 13, and I think gives you a really good relationship with your skipper, because you understand what it feels like and what they're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like back in the day, it used to be sort of the other way around a lot, Jess, was you'd, as we just have a ultimate kumquat go through the fleet and nearly chop people in half, but you know, they used to say some of the best skippers came from being forward hands, and then moved on from there. So you know, it's pretty cool to see that it's can go the other way now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was never going to be big or strong enough to do anything other than steer, but I did like to kind of jump on the trap every so often to kind of get a feel of what it's like.
Yeah, it's, well, I was the other way around, unfortunately. I was too big to sit down the back and pretend to hike.
All right, so we're back on Buckingham Marine here, who I think are in second or third.
Yeah.
Probably more third by the looks of it, but a little bit hard to tell. So they've done well to get up from their swim and get back amongst it, but yeah, I think it could be a bit late for them to get back in the lead.
Unfortunately, not enough racetrack, I don't think, Jess, for them. It won't hurt them too much, I don't think, in the overalls, but still, yeah, in anyone's day, a third or a second is a keeper, but, you know, you always like the bullet.
Yep. Yeah, so great shot there. We've got Buckingham up to the top left of your screen and Imagine signage in front. And Imy off screen are heading up to the finish. Now our finish will be further up in Manly. Oh no, it is about where the top mark was.
And there's the Queens of Buckingham. You can see them from anywhere on the harbour, can't you?
Yeah, so they'll have another lap, but really good to see them out here and enjoying themselves. And there is Imy, and there is the blue finish mark. And it looks like they are across the line about now, so congrats to Imy. From winning the States to winning first race back here. They kept it smooth. Yeah, well done. Had a good race.
Do wonders for their confidence leading
Yes.
into the Nationals and move them up the ranks on the club championship.
Yeah, no, club championship points, we did have a drop. They get to drop their worst race after 5 races, which happened after last time. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Imy on the points before today were in 8th position.
I know they had a start to this club championship that they'd rather forget, Jess.
Yeah, so yeah, I think today will be really good for them to see them get back up there a bit more. Well, it looks like still a bit of a battle between Imagine and Buckingham, but I think Imagine do have the advantage coming into the finish line.
Just got the Queens of Buckingham are going around the top mark for their last time, heading back down to Balmoral and capsized, unfortunately. Not enough vang off there, so that's the big thing they've got to look at for their bearaways.
Yes.
Jess, is let the vang off.
Yes.
That will aid the bearaway very nicely. We've got a really tight battle here after the Imagine signage cross and then the Buckinghams. We've got a very tight battle between the 2 red pumps, but I think advantage red pumps red.
Yes, well done. Imagine crossing the line second, with Buckingham Marine crossing the line there in third.
I think we've got to find out what the go is with these goggles on Tyler. He's just throwing the dice one last time at his sister Zoe on red pumps red, just trying to, you know, they haven't worked their way out to the final lay here, but dictating terms is what Tyler's trying to do to his sister, and it's all about throwing last-ditch attack moves at them to try and force an error from the other boat.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over, so you've got to keep trying. Alright, so red pumps red, approaching the line now, looking like they have crossed in, will be crossing in fourth. So it looks like on the overall points, it'll be pretty tight up the top again, with Buckingham probably 2 points ahead after today.
Glad you can work those things out. I've got no idea on how it all works. I'll just sit there and I'll message your dad and message everyone else going, the results up. Yep, great, thank you. So...
Right, and that looks like geochemical engineering or geochemical assessments.
They'll have a few off branches of their company by the end of this season with us. We've all
geotechnical.
We've given them plenty of different names.
Yeah.
But no, good to see another company coming on board sponsoring a 16-foot skiff.
Yeah, and after these guys, we do have Harkenau leading 13 coming up to the finish.
There you go, you can sort of see what Nathan's thinking on that shot.
Yeah, so there's our leading 2 13-foot skiffs on screen. It looks like that gap is closed, do you think?
Yeah, I think it has, Jess, and again, like, you know, not taking anything away from Heidi and Orlando, I think it just comes down to Theo's height and probably that extra little bit of weight that he probably has over him. Like,
yeah, watching them upwind, it looked like they weren't as overpowered as Harkin were.
Yeah, so, you know, all that culminates into, you know, extra speed and you've seen Heidi, everyone's seen Heidi. There's zero of her, so she's only tiny, and she swings hard all day. It throws a whole 15 kilos of her at it, but she doesn't stop trying, and that's what it's all about.
And it's really nice listening to both of them. I think they both talk really highly of each other, Orlando and Heidi, which is great. I mean, you don't want to sail with someone you don't think is that good, but they really think highly of each other.
Oh, do they what?
Yeah. Yeah, so well done. Congratulations to Harkin, our first 13 of today.
Well done to this boat, the Typhoon. I reckon probably their best result this season. But yeah, the Harkin well on their way to keeping that picket fence, which is all first places, intact for the titles.
All right, and Buckingham Marine coming across in second. Well done to them. Yeah, I think they had a really good race today.
Here comes the Thomas brothers with our Commodore Michael Childs up the bow on the Botany Access, and g'day to Justin Brownbill, the sponsor from Botany Access that very generously sponsors this boat. Last year he had Botany Scaffold as well, the 16, and I think he's got the same in the 13s. So just got a Manly ferry coming out, so we're just going to shuffle across a little bit for him.
Now I think Botany Access might be our first little rig. Does that look right?
Yeah, that does look like a little rig, so I'll go with it, Jess.
Yep.
Your eyes are younger and better than mine.
All right, and Kitchen Maker looking like our third 13 approaching the line.
I'll tell you what, the Kitchen Maker have improved out of sight, Jess.
Oh, yeah,
it's great to see.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling that kind of first day you go out when it's windy and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel as hard as it used to. All right, and there they are, Kitchen Maker across the line in third. Well done. Another good race from our 13s. Looks like our next 16-foot skiff will be another little rig by Sutek. There they are.
You wait for the cheer when they cross the line, Jess. So if any team can party, it's this team.
Yeah, I think the epitome of hard racing on the water and fun off the water.
Yes. Now, they're a very cool cat team,
Yep.
and good to see.
All right, and Bartley Construction, our next 16, not too far off. And then number 58, 13-foot skiff will be next.
Which is the Red Pumps.
Yes.
So that's a really good result there for the Bartley Construction 16 team.
Yep.
You know, I know Mark Bromlow he won't be as depressed this week, the father of Dan.
Yep.
He rides every tack and jibe with them, and
Yes.
you know, he often, like I talk to Mark quite a bit, and he often, oh, but this went wrong and that went wrong. It's like, Mark, just let the boys be boys, and it'll come together slowly. They're getting it all pieced together. They've just got to get that last little tweak.
Yep. Yeah, Mark puts a lot of effort into that boat, and it's looking really nice. So, yeah, it's good to see the results improving.
It is meant to look at that boat. It's
Yes.
a bit like the Bosca build down
Yes.
at St George. And here we have the Aristocrat Darryl. Has he got his normal crew? Yep, Kobe and Liam on board. So hopefully they're coming to the finish. If they are, incredible effort for this team.
Definitely.
But I think too, Jess, the cheer from the Sutek last Saturday down at St George, I don't know what they came, but they were back a little bit.
Yep.
But they were in front of one boat.
You're right.
The Bosca.
Yep.
So Josh and obviously Sarah,
yep.
they're an item, and I think it was more a cheer that Josh has finally beaten Sarah in a race for the first time. So,
yeah, I think he would have been very happy with that one for sure.
and here's the little Buck and Simple just crossing the finish line, which is a really good result for them.
So great shot there of Aristocrat with Bigfoot 13 in front. There they are.
And that one's Bigfoot Bags and Covers, which is Byron and Lockie. And this is quite, I think this is probably a nice change for the Aristocrat team, and one that they'll be happy with. All right, well, we might wrap up proceedings there. Jess, thank you so very much for jumping in today and helping out.
No worries, love to be here.
If Paulie's awake, that was meant to be here, and he messaged us and said he fell asleep and his alarm didn't wake him up, well,
we didn't need him anyway, did we?
We didn't need him. We don't need you. So that from all of us here at Sail Media, want to wish all our viewers and all our patrons of the club there at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club a very happy Christmas and a safe New Year. To our team here, well done, team, for pulling it all together and making it work. And yeah, we're back on the water tomorrow for the 18s and then Tuesday for the Soulless Big Boats. So if you're looking for things to see and do, you can go there, that's for sure. That's Manly 16-foot Skiff Club there, the place to be seen. I think there's quite a famous sailor going there tomorrow for lunch, and it's, yes, might be the skipper of the 1983 America's Cup boat Australia too.
Wow.
So I believe he might be attending there for lunch tomorrow, so celebrity pick moments.
Yep.
But yeah, so from all of us here at Sail Media, thanks very much, and this has been a Sail Media production for the Manly 16-foot Skiff Sailing Club.